Hey, alright everybody, how's it going? Now, this video is more about you lot behind the camera there. So I'm going to ask you a question. Now, before I get to the question, I want to talk about my experience with electric car. Now, this is personal to me. This is my personal experience. I don't do a lot of miles. Now, there'll be people who do a lot more miles than me, and there'll be people who do a lot less miles than me. But after owning an electric car for almost 3 months, I haven't used a public charger, not once, not at all. So my question is to you lot, the first question is this. Before you bought an electric car, was your expectations of what driving an electric car was going to be different to when you got an electric car? Because my expectations were I'd be charging more often, and maybe I'd have to public charge now and again. But it looks like I'm not going to public charge hardly at all. And saying that, I don't charge that much at home either. It's a lot less. I charge a lot less than I thought I was going to charge. So that's my question to you. Do you need to charge using a lot of the public charging? And most of you watch my channel have home charging, or do you only have public charging, or can you charge at work? I'd like to know. That's the question I'm asking you, because there's always this thing about people that get all sort of people who are a bit wary of EVs or don't like EVs. They get themselves all tangled up in knots about charging the car, and it's going to be so difficult and it's terrible and you're going to be waiting hours. But it's not like that. It's not like that in my experience. Now, I mentioned something about 60% of people, or maybe a little bit more than 60% of people, have some form of off-road parking in the UK. And then there's, let's just say for argument's sake, well, I read a couple of articles and it said 30% of people don't have off-road parking, so they can't charge at home. And that number might be up for debate. It might be 40%, it might be 30%, it might be 35%. But anyway, so those people are the ones who tend to get sort of hung up on public charging. And the reason I'm talking about public charging and charging at home and charging this, that and the other is if most people who, have own electric car at the moment do have home charging, or eventually if everybody had EVs, and 60% of the people would be charging mostly at home, then that would free up a lot of the public chargers for the people who can't charge at home. Now I do know a person a couple of doors down from me who's got a Kia EV6, and they got no home charging. All they do is public charge, and they seem to be getting along okay. So there you go, make of that what you will. But my question was, do most of your charging at home? And if you do, then like I said, is that going to, do we really need as many public chargers as they say we're going to need eventually? I don't know, because down by me, there's 2 Instavolt chargers just down the road by there, and I've never seen 3 people queue in, unless the third person always does a bunk somewhere else. And quite a lot of the time, they're either empty or there's 1 person there or 2 people there. Now, across the road from the Instavolt chargers, there's 4 Tesco slow chargers. And I rarely see people using the slow chargers, which is I thought they would be more popular. People just nipping to Tesco's for an hour, plugging it in, having a little trickle charge. I don't see many people using them slow chargers. This is my experience now, so I'm just asking you, what's your experience? Do you charge much public charging? Do you need to charge much public charging? Have you got workplace charging, or do you mainly charge at home? And that's my waffle. That's it. Because I just like to find out, because you always give me interesting answers. Anyway, if you did like this video, don't forget to comment down below, give it a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Ahoy!